Hello and welcome to Market Manipulation is Okay When We Do It. In a few moments, Matt and Toby will be joining us. But before then, let's fire up those old super chats and give them a read. Had a bunch of super chats come in while I was at the shop purchasing Skittles and Fosters. Very important shopping trip I had to make before the start of the stream. I saw some super chats come in, so thank you all you guys, and we're going to read those now. Well, Gemma's going to read them because she's sat there with them.
Yeah, alright, so thank you very much, the neighbour's kid, for $2. Who here is excited for Godzilla Civil War?
I am. Is it the first one? Is there anything before that?
That's the first one.
Okay, cool, because I thought there was some before that, but that might just be me being a twat. So I'm sure Willie sent one, like right as we went live.
Ah, well, it is not there.
Okay, give me a second. I'll try it on the PC. We're not boomers here at all, guys. We're absolutely, really very good at YouTube. Yeah, Willie, £2. Willie says, "Y'all have my deepest condolences." Well, thank you, Willie. Unusual for a Scotsman to say y'all, but we're here. Your donation certainly helps. Mr. Dr. Professor Rabbit also gives us £2, and he says, "Hyped to hear more probable cause from Greg tonight." Yeah, I'm sure you will. Greg's a creepy individual, and this is only going to get worse, isn't it? Let's call a spade a spade. It's going to get worse. Safe State, thank you very much for the £5. Safe State says, "Onision's worst version is basically himself, except he openly states, 'You look at this baby and tell me Ian Watkins is wrong.'" Well, there's the monetization gone. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. I need that more than ever. Now, the neighbour's kid.
Yeah, literally only went as far back as that.
Yeah, that's because phones are shit.
Yeah.
Who here is excited for Godzilla Civil War? I'm really excited for Godzilla vs. King Kong. I've said this before and I'll say it again. People always think like, oh, you know, Kong is great because he's a great American monster and everything. Just remember, they dropped the word king from his name for a reason. And I've always said this, Godzilla was never gunned down simping a woman.
No.
That's why they took king away from Kong's name. It's absolutely true. Gamebreaker Mills, thank you very much. A hugely generous donation of £50. Really, really I appreciate that. And Gamebreaker Mills says, "So Discovery Plus are streaming a documentary on Greg." Oh yes, I'm well aware of this documentary. Apparently it's shit. Anyway, documentary on Greg about his rise to fame, controversy, and criminal allegations. It's also rated poorly by IMDb. So then I ask this. Is it just badly made, or a Discovery white knighting Greg like Keemstar? Ooh, I don't think they're white knighting him. There's just a lot of misinformation in there. Thank you very much, Mario Master. Mario Master 456, or Mario Master if you're American, because it is dollars. Arthur, nickname Mr. Emo the Bomb Maker. Yep, again, things I probably shouldn't be saying on a monetized channel. Uncle Palpy, thank you very much for the £5. Tonight's challenge: who can go the longest without making a 3-0 file reference? I appreciate that. Appreciate your censorship there. Daniel Giovanilio. I'm sorry, Dan. Big purple Dan.
Big D.
Big D says, "If you're boomers, then Onision is a kiddie diddler." And we all know that isn't true. Yeah, so we're absolutely not boomers. Mrs. Dr. Professor Rabbit again, thank you very much. Atheists when it's not Sciencezilla versus Ancestor. I saw that post. Funny stuff. Right. Looks like Matt and Toby are in a Discord call, so I'm going to slide on into that. Just like I slide into the DMs of unsuspecting Instagram influencers. Let's go, boyos. Let's get cracking. Welcome, my best friends, to the call. Nice to have you.
Hi.
Nice to have you.
So, you've been doing this for what was it? Reading all the super chats.
Stayed there for about, what, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, basically it was just like, right, we can all be talking over each other while I try and read the super chats, or I can read the super chats before we start.
Yeah, but we're the fun part of the super chats.
Yeah. Also penis.
Bennis.
By investing in meme stocks.
Meme stock. So that whole thing was pretty shocking, wasn't it? So it looks like Trading 212, Robinhood, and a number of other apps are basically guilty of market manipulation. Because effectively the You know, it's you know what really annoys me. I'm never ever in my life going to listen to a rich person say, you know, poor people just need to invest their money. Because it's like, you know what? They did, and then you guys didn't let them. It's like, invest your money. Okay. No, not like that.
Not in a way it affects us. You need to invest in poor people. You go to the poor people's stock market. You know, like
This stock market is like a poor people's stock market.
See, the thing is, all these like fucking stockbrokers, they should have seen that. They would have seen this coming if they just watched that documentary, Trading Places. They would have seen this coming.
Oh yeah. True to life.
Yeah.
All right, so last time on Supernatural, we got to chapter 4, Prayer for the Poor.
Oh, that right.
Like, Jacob, this isn't Supernatural. It's not about two brothers kissing each other.
It's creepy. Damn fucking people. Stop trying to make that magic happen. All right, it's not going to happen.
No, it really isn't. Just.
Incest, more like grimcest. Nailed it.
Someone in the chat said that they can't hear Matt or Toby.
That's bizarre. Their fucking volume's cranked right up.
Fucking crank that soldier boy.
Do we need to drop it and start again?
No, it's fine. Just give me a second to fix it.
So they've just been listening to you half a conversation.
Well, people hate me saying, well, I didn't say.
Okay, so let us know when you can hear us.
Yes. Hang on.
Yeah, let's just keep talking. Keep making Star Wars references.
Okay. Well,
It's cold here. Half cold. Oh, cloaks animated.
I heard someone says that I can hear them.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Somebody
as
just
long as one person can hear us.
somebody's just been a Bennett, basically.
Yeah, okay. So for everyone who couldn't hear us, you just missed our fucking grade A material and you'll never hear it.
Yeah, absolutely the best joke we've ever come up with, and you missed it. Or the greatest highs and lowest tragedies, all represented in one sweeping epic of a joke, told by Matt and Toby, and we're all sort of riffing. You know, it was brilliant, honestly. The pinnacle of not only verbal comedy but also physical as well, like the sound effects and the body. You couldn't see the body language, but you kind of hear the slapping of the chest and everything. Really, just truly funny.
Yes.
It's an Aurora Borealis of a joke.
Yes, actually, we act as though we came up with it, but the pinnacle of comedy, as we all know, was back in the 1990s with steamed hams as the pinnacle of comedy. And
It's all downhill from there.
it doesn't matter how much the internet tries to ruin things. That will always be the greatest sketch of all time. And from the greatest sketch of all time to the greatest novel of all time, and I'm not very good at segues, comes the thing we're doing. Prayer for the Poor.
What was it called? A Tale of Two Nonces? What?
So it starts off with, it's been 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry.
Did he just finish beating up some kid for looking at him funny and literally doing nothing whatsoever?
It's all like he slapped his girlfriend on the arse, so he punched him in the throat and dislocated his arm, and read at his mate that he was going to stab him. So, totally justified.
As best as I remember, he took a stand against bullying by breaking a kid's arm and then taking his lunch money.
Possibly shitting on his head.
Okay.
Right, so we were listening to the Bare Naked Ladies or something? What were we doing?
Anything but this.
I'm trying to lighten everyone's moods.
Yeah. So meanwhile, in the Digimon movie...
Oh, don't even start with a Digimon movie. Why the fuck? Again, we've already talked about the Digimon movie in this show. And why the fuck do they have that fucking, what was it, Angela Anaconda thing before it?
I remember that was the only time we ever talked about Angela Anaconda, was just Toby being like, just in the back, we were talking about something, oh, Angela Anaconda, that was shit. And then Toby goes, yeah, fucking Angela Anaconda, right? I'm trying to watch the Digimon movie. Man, Toby, shut your Crocodile Dundee asshole.
Going on in the Digimon movie at all? I mean, if you ask me to summarise that movie, no.
It would just be, you can only remember Anja Anaconda.
That's the only thing that I could remember, which was an actual thing, which could be explained with words. The Digimon movie is something, I swear to God, you need hieroglyphs or something to explain it. Moving on to the story.
Half an hour in and we're starting on the story.
Sorry, I took a break for a moment so I could eat Skittles. That's the most important thing you can do. Because basically the Skittles are to offset the beer. The beer will make me sleepy, the Skittles will keep me awake.
I have sour Skittles.
So, who needs a recap on what happened? We had the arm breaking. Was there anything else important?
No.
No, he's just interested in some girl, which is the reason why he broke
Yeah,
the
he
guy's
spouted
arm.
some purple prose about how it's totally awesome being a nihilist and how like every single human being is shit, including him, but he's the best of all the shits or something.
And don't forget, how dare you enjoy sports? How
Oh,
dare you
that's
enjoy
right.
anything? You know.
Oh yeah, when he was talking about how
You've got to do
jobs
more
suck.
push-ups than me.
I can remember.
So,
It's the only thing I could remember that's an actual thing that could be described in words. Toby Mitchell, 2021.
put on a shirt.
Gemma proves she's the best of the four once more. Yes. I win.
I fucking love sour Skittles. They're so good. It's been a week since I went to school. Fortunately for me, my girlfriend... It's so hard to not like do it in the rhythm, isn't it? My girlfriend has visited me at home a few times since. Ashley and I have made out a number of times. This reads like a... I know Greg... I know Greg is anything but because he's a sex pest, but this reads like the scribblings of such a virgin. My girl...
We made out a few times. It was really cool.
He's just like,
She made my pee hard.
My girlfriend has visited me. We have made out a number of times. Sonny Chew, bring my ex deodorant. If anything, how does this keep happening? There's a long period of silence where each of us waits to see if it's appropriate to speak, and then we speak at the same time.
Practice. We're in. What's the opposite of being in sync? That.
We're in Discord with each other, which
We
is
literally are.
yeah. I mean, we're on a Discord call, so that works. If anything, what I did to John brought us closer together in the long run. Yeah, that's no.
So
No.
violence sociopath as well.
A lot of people wonder why guys like jerks. You might go as far as to say, why do all the jerks get all the pretty girls? And you might continue to say that you may not know this, but I want you to know that I am a lonesome heart.
And all those jerk cops and managers.
Why are a lot of women into guys with attitude problems? You can't resist, can you?
Nope.
A lot of people wonder why girls like jerks. Why are a lot of women into guys with attitude problems over the friend-zoned nice boys?
Nice boys!
I thought nice boy was like code for a homosexual prostitute.
Well, I was going to see my nice boy down the docks.
I have ever heard that. Where the hell do you get your analogies from sometimes, Jacob? I'm concerned about you, boy.
It's mostly when I'm, having sex with male prostitutes.
I thought you'd stop.
Well, I have stopped. I'm just saying. If you really,
Jacob, ladyboys still count.
if you
You can't just like loophole it.
loopholing's been outlawed in my state. If you appreciate reality over fantasy, it takes one look at the animal kingdom to figure out why girls often choose to be with guys who are insensitive and domineering. In nature,
I'm interested to see where this goes.
Okay, so what part of the animal kingdom are we looking at? Spiders, fucking crayfish. What you want to narrow it down a bit?
Praying mantises.
sorry, fly. In nature, the lion that fights the hardest, the alpha male, he is the one the lioness is. It's supposed to say lioness, but it says the lionesses mates with.
Lino.
So is it the one that is he trying to say the one that the lioness mates with? So that actually makes sense then. Or is he saying the lionesses mate? So the lioness is mates with. I suppose you could be saying.
I think you might be trying to pluralize because I think lions have like harems of.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't say mate. You wouldn't say mates. You'd say mate.
That's true.
The most aggressive and dominant animal is the one who spreads his genetics, not the submissive, nice alternative males. I don't think in nature they have alternative males.
Fucking nice boy, fucking I don't know.
Just all these,
whales or whatever.
you know, all these fucking monkeys chilling in the jungle, just do wee, and one of them's like, "Do you have the time?" It's fucking weird. All right, the rest of them are all vibing, singing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Yeah. Well, the monkey's doing that, doing the and the hippo's just like, "Oh, we mow it." Oh, with the one monkey, he's singing Green Day. It's my contribution to the world tonight. This is why I'm talking to the members of the public. It's what I have to offer. Thanks for subscribing.
We're here all week.
So the super chat just starts disappearing.
What?
What happened there?
I am unsure.
Like, did a guitar string just snap or something? What happened?
I have no fucking idea. That noise just...
Bounced off something.
I think Jacob's home's being invaded. If you know you hear screaming and it goes off, then Toby, you get the full super chat.
Oh, great.
It's the purge happening where you are living, Jacob.
Alright. Sometimes comparing ourselves to other animals can be ridiculous, as some connections are thin or entirely irrelevant. However, this is a case of what we are deep down. Who I am comes from the core of my being. Sorry, I should probably try to sound more like Onision when I say this. Who I am comes from the core of my being. I am an alpha.
Oh.
And will be till the day I die. Yeah. Yeah, Greg, you're a real man. I say it every day. We are products...
Okay, Jacob, quick question. Are you doing a voice at the moment? Because you sound weird to me.
I mean, I was doing a voice. I'm not doing one right now.
Right now you sound like you're doing a voice. You sound like you got a really deep voice.
No. This is just how I speak.
There's something snapping your mic.
I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. This is how I always sound.
Yeah, Jacob's sound lower pitched.
That's fucking weird. Right, Gemma, you're in the room with me. Do I sound different in real life, or is it just the microphone?
I think it's probably just the microphone. Wait, do I sound lower pitched?
Yes, here's a good question. Does Gemma sound...
Your balls just dropped again.
Does Gemma sound more masculine than usual? I say it every day. We are products of our configurations. We are controlled by how we were raised.
Fucking robots
People in the
again.
chat going like, what's happened to Jacob's voice?
Our other childhood experience... Okay, so this is puberty 3, apparently. Our other childhood experiences. Chemicals in our brains and our bodies themselves.
Grown a big bushiest beard.
Should I unplug my mic and plug it back in?
Holding a fucking pint.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lead at like my mic and plug it back in and see if that makes a difference.
It's like Gemma also sounds lower pitched.
Chat cross things, it comes like high pitched.
It sounds like it's like up a hill somewhere.
Okay, is that better?
Like, literally.
Is that better at all?
Yeah, you sound back to normal.
Okay.
Yay! I'm a woman again!
We are controlled by how we were raised. Our other childhood experiences, chemicals in our brains and our bodies themselves. As soon as the majority of it's just so Christian-y.
It is!
As soon as the majority of straight women stop being attracted to the strongest and most ambitious males, I'll stop being one! This is written by Onision!
Like, is this Onision going his own way?
Until alpha males are obsolete, my body has needs, and being angry at the world doesn't hurt my position. Now, since the day I was suspended from school, My father has had quite a few things to say. You probably guessed it. One of those things was that he is disappointed. No, actually, but he is praying for me. You know what changes things? Changing them. It sounds stupid, but prayer does not equate to changing anything outside satisfying your need to feel like you accomplished something. Sorry, Chad, but in real life, the atheist gets the girl.
Fucking stupid, innit? I've been waiting to finish, yeah.
Yeah, new page, so.
Yeah, I've been screenshotting them. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Thank you very much.
Okie dokie, yokie doke.
Okay. Thank you very much, Corbin Carson, for the $9.99. Read Tiki Toby. It's another edgy teenage murderer, but I know
We
it will
tried
have...
like 3 times.
Yeah, but I know it will have a lot of good gags in it.
Crap.
Hey, maybe we should just do it in a stream.
You say it'll have a lot of good gags. We've tried to do it on an episode a bunch of times. We never get any good material out of it.
The only joke is like, haha, it's the same name as me, and it's me.
And that was Toby turning into the Joker.
Peas Blossom. Thank you very much for the $5. What's that creepypasta about the Haunted Zelda cartridge? Bare naked lady's voice. It's Ben.
I'm so annoyed.
Thank you very much, Superstar Planet, for the $5. There is no comment. The blue chow chow. Thanks very much for the $2. Greg's writing gives me a reverse stiffy. Superstar Planet, thanks again for the $5. You guys are lucky that you get to see Big Monkey with axe hit giant lizard early, but I'm still excited nonetheless. Team Dong for life. Thank you for the £5, some English bloke. Yes, Greg is a real man, which is why he has to groom young girls in order to get laid. And thanks for the $2.99, Renita Chan. Real alphas wouldn't have to say they're alpha. And Touch of Comics, thanks again for the $5. You sound like James Earl Jones. I think that was during the...
Yeah, obviously. Not typically, no. It's like, hey guys, it's me, Darth Vader.
Now there you sounded like Luke Skywalker a little bit.
You might sound like the guy who did did the bodywork for Darth Vader.
And
You are part of a rebel alliance and a traitor.
Yeah.
And thanks, Uncle Palpy, for the £5. Greg's projecting his inner alpha monkey by flinging his feces straight at us. And thanks again, Renisa Chan, for the $4.99. Remember, everyone, Greg is totally bi. That's why he's only ever gone after women and AFAB people.
He's the male equivalent of like a fat goth, quote-unquote, Wiccan.
And thank you, Mario Master 456 for the $1.99. Arthur Dad equals Rocket Fish Rick reincarnation.
Isn't anything nearly enough cool to be Rocket Fist Rick? Also, on the fact that fucking Greg's character like calls it an alpha, he goes, well, I'd say, yeah, he is. He's an alpha child predator.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably more skilled than a lot of other child predators. You know, except maybe Drake. Toby, would you like to take over a moment? Because I'm shoveling candy into my mouth right now.
Yeah, sure. Is it like a frame you're doing it? Alright. So, prayer is often the just poor man's version of donating money to a cause. When you are incapable of something or too lazy to do anything proactive about a problem, get on your knees and make a wish. That satisfies people for some reason. Everyone but those living their lives realistically. Other than praying for me, my father has been out of the house with his girlfriend a lot. This left me plenty of room to gratify myself, almost constantly using the toys that he left behind. No, using the sites. Using the sites he hadn't yet blocked on his computer. Oh, he is talking about masturbation. Great. It's easy to get around parent blocking. All I had to do is go to the least popular sites I could find and bam, no filter. A whole paragraph dedicated to masturbating in his own
Yeah.
house. That's great.
like, how great is that? He's such an alpha. He has to use his dad's computer to go to the least popular porn sites on the internet. Truly a Chad among Chads.
Oh man, I love Pornhub.
Prawn Hub. It's people in prawn costumes fucking each other.
Well, if you're gonna make a Pornhub joke, so it's Pornhub. People in lobster costumes trafficking children.
That is true. The bam, no filter. My father, abandoning me for his girlfriend, also offered the same, but always offered the always welcome gift of being able to generally leave my room without worrying about being judged or lectured. There was no comma in that paragraph. Ashley told me the other day that John had to get surgery on the arm I broke. As a joke, I told my dad to pray for his arm to have a quick recovery, and he smiled, thinking I, for a moment, was actually supportive of his faith. The reason I asked my father to pray is because I know little to nothing he prays for comes true. If there is a God, he, she, or is it making a point to ignore him? Or it, yeah, whatever.
What?
Yeah, so
No,
like, quick
I know.
question, like, we might have brought this up last time, but in his last book, didn't he get suspended for ages for shoving a guy? Wouldn't breaking a guy's arm to the point where he needs stitches or surgery or whatever, like, I don't know, get you suspended or like what?
He is suspended, isn't he?
I mean, not expelled. I mean,
All right. I don't know. I don't know if this is takes place in the Stones to Abigail universe. There's been no evidence. I mean, this takes a very atheistic viewpoint. Whereas obviously, Stones to Abigail, they know in those stories beyond all reasonable doubt that gods and monsters exist, and they're discussed at great length.
that just made me think. Like, do you think if he ever writes a fourth book, it will be where all of his main characters have to team up to fight? I don't know, you Jacob or something like that.
I would love that. I'm always like, oh man, Greg sucks, and I hope he stops writing. But these have given us so much material.
You can say joy for a second. You can just like they give us so much.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's certainly not giving us any joy, but it's given us material, and it's brought other people joy. There's people in the audience seem to enjoy it. So, but it's given us a lot of material for comedy. So I would absolutely love a book where where all the different characters cross over. Where like
So I hate you. What's his third book called?
well, like, Reaper's Creek, I think is the third one.
Yeah, Reaper's Creek, where he defeats God as an 8-year-old.
Wow. I mean,
You know, I was making jokes about Neil Breen. Like, even he.
I've got to come back for that one. I mean, that sounds great.
He wouldn't let you escape.
Neil Breen doesn't fight God; he just thinks he is God.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say at least Neil Breen doesn't think he can take God because he is God. But
All right, we're almost at the end of the page, guys. Let's do it.
The real reason I asked my father to pray is because I already said that. Who knows? I could get lucky and John could be in for a long recovery. His recovery should offer him plenty of time for him to think about not touching women without their consent. Pot kettle black.
And it's just
I
like, just Greg's like, look, those children consented, okay?
like I said, like those children were given.
By the way, the bottom of the screen is just teasing me with the name of the next chapter.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh dear.
I know all this makes me sound like a terrible human being.
Yes.
Can that be the quote on the front of the book?
All this makes him sound like a terrible human being.
Yeah.
That's probably the best review Eastgate are going to get. And I, no doubt, am on multiple levels.
Yep.
But you only know a fraction of the story. Even so, much of who I am and what I've been through, I likely will not tell you. Some things are just better let off unsaid.
Like
Well,
this
you could have, yeah, ninja. I was, if something's better left unsaid, you could have just left all of this unsaid and never written this book. So the next chapter, we'll move on in just a moment. But the next chapter, because that was very short, the next one is called "Rejected and." Excuse me, I should really deliver it as presented. Chapter 5: Rejected and Aroused.
I like to imagine that your window's open, Jacob. So like an old lady was just passing by.
Just my neighbour is like, what does your next door neighbour do for a living? It's difficult to explain. Just window open, just rejected and aroused. Fucking hell, this next chapter's long, but oh well.
Thank you, Vince12, for the $6.66.
Heyo!
Greg would wear a fedora if only it could be around. It could fit around his giant galaxy brain. By the way, whilst I was reading that, Jacob did take off his jumper, so I think he was, pretty happy about that. I don't know.
Fuck are you babbling about?
Vince12 sends a super chat. Take off your jumper. I don't know.
Right. Does anyone know what Jim is talking about?
You the fucking woman.
Do you think it's time to do you think we could put her in a home?
The neighbour's kid, thanks for the $2. Will enjoy your viruses and swatting Greg. I'll see if there's any more ones that I haven't. Hold on. Is there anything above Superstar Planet's one? Just because I'm
there isn't. No.
Right, Superstar Planet, thanks for the $2. Remember Bunyan Boy met Elisa Lam in the elevator?
That's a great picture, but fuck, it upset some people.
Yeah. Uncle Palpy, thanks for the $5. Rejected and Aroused. Didn't know he co-wrote Matt's biography.
Sorry, I'm just going to post the appropriate F in the chat for that one.
And Bean Daddy Mandela, thanks for the $5. Where did it go? I used to think some books were bad and almost being at the end of a chapter was bad. Then came this crap and nearly being at the end of a page is worse.
It is just the fucking worst book ever written, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, not in like a hyperbolic, haha, worst thing ever. Like, no, it's the worst book of all time.
Is it Jacob is propositioning me?
This is honestly the worst book that doesn't start with Harry Potter and the in the title.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Toby, basically saying, this is actually, these books are the worst thing since I read the first chapter of Twilight.
Twilight's kind of like Stones to Abigail, I think. It feels very similar. Right down to the only good character being the protagonist's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Bella Swan is the female version of one of Onion Boy's characters. It's weird. It's like the weird, self-absorbed vacuum of anything good in the world.
Really, if This Is Why I Hate You could be the name of the because Stephanie Meyer did Twilight again recently from Edward's point of view, and that could be the name of it.
Well, no, it's what's the guy who plays Edward?
Robert Pattinson just did Twilight in general.
It's like his autobiography of working on the films.
I love him.
You know what? I actually really do like him as well. He is great.
Toby, have you seen The Lighthouse?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I do really want to see it. It's the one with Willem Dafoe in it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
It is. It's brilliant. Gemma and I were lucky enough to catch it in the cinema.
Before lockdown.
Yeah, it's right before lockdown because it was obviously it'd been out a while in America, but it had a special limited release.
It was for our anniversary last
year.
year.
Our anniversary last year is coming up next week. Actually, I should probably text work and ask if we can have our anniversary off.
Yeah.
But so we went and saw The Lighthouse. Bloody good movie.
Bloody good.
Bloody good album. I hear Bono played guitar. Somebody in the chat said Harry Potter and the Chamber of Nonces. Honestly, the only chamber I want to see Greg in is a fucking gas chamber.
Harry Potter and the prisoner that is Greg.
Because he deserves to be executed. So the next chapter.
Boom.
I mean,
Harry Potter Order 66.
the knight, much like Greg, is not getting any younger. So, rejected and aroused.
Imagine, like, yes, they're just like, I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Like, fuck's sake, Greg. You're in public, so say it out loud.
High school girls.
Yeah. Middle school girls. Jesus Christ, tasers, man.
Babies.
Wait, I just thought something. I'm surprised Greg doesn't like sucking dick because he can get to the sperm and that's as young as he can get.
Jesus!
But anyway, enough about CREEPYPASTA. Cold wisps there. Allegedly.
That's CREEPYPASTA in the book we can do.
Cold wisps of air filled my dark and decaying school on my third day back. Don't say school, it'll give me an erection. This place is so pathetic.
Jacob, sorry to interrupt you again, but it's like, you know, you said like, since we haven't been doing actual creepypastas for a while, is this what we're going to be moving on to? Shittily written books by nonces? Is that what the channel's going to be now?
I mean,
Like, has Drake written a fancy book or something?
Just bad nonsense is the name of the channel now.
I mean, at least with bad creepypasta, there's an implication that somewhere out there might be the odd good one. I think bad is redundant when coupled with the word nonsense. Unless you're implying they're bad at being nonsense, in which case we'd just be reading things written by convicted child predators. Unless we did a show called Good Nonces and we were reading things written by nonces who had died.
He's just going on, isn't he?
Jacob, when you said bad nonsense, I just imagine it being like a loot, like, you know, like a guy's creeping up on a child and he slips in a banana peel or something like that. Falls down an elevator shaft.
Right.
I'll get that kid one of these days.
Alright guys, realist possible talk for a moment. Has anyone ever slipped on a banana skin?
Yes.
Have you? When did you slip on a banana skin? Tell us in excruciating detail.
See it. It's quite simple. I didn't slip anyway at all. It just sort of went. You know when you step on something with the front of your foot, and then it's slippery, so it sort of slides a bit back, but then it just stops. You know that little momentary whoa.
Okay, but yeah, but you didn't
all over.
slip though.
No, I didn't side slip. I didn't fucking know. No, I'm not a cartoon, Jacob.
This reminds me of a dream I had. Please tell us about it in agonizing detail.
Okay, it's about robots in the sky, and okay, bye.
Jacob should make a biopic named Allegedly. Yeah, but who would I get to play CREEPYPASTA? That's the question. Cold with
Well,
okay.
do you have a spare bucket of spaghetti around anywhere in the house?
Oh, I could get Nicolas Cage, yeah. I wondered if they ever planned on fixing anything. What would it take to get things repaired? A ceiling caving in on an entire class of students? Would that be enough to get me off? I mean, to get this work done? Every other person at school has been looking at me nervously for the past few days, wondering why this 45-year-old man is in their class.
In a trench coat.
Today, their looks could be in response to the fact I painted half...
What?
Today, their looks could be in response to the fact I painted half my face like a skeleton.
Oh god. He's that guy from American Horror Story now, isn't he? Normal people scare me.
It could also be that I wore the same trench coat I had on when I broke John's arm.
You know, is this motherfucker looking like the bad guy from the Princess and the Frog? You reckon?
No, this guy looks like he wanted to, like, turn up, like they're having a fucking Warriors base party or something like that, and he, like, failed. And I don't fucking, like,
face. That's hilarious. I mean, I'm just imagining like a cartoon skeleton. That's fucking hysterical, dude. In a trench coat. But yeah, fucking out of the Matrix. Yep. I don't know. I love him.
I didn't even wash my own blood off of it yet. That's just unhygienic.
That's just icky.
It could also be the silver tooth I got to replace the one Jot knocked out of my face. So okay.
Such a cunt.
Welcome back to the latest installment of Rapper or Pirate. Here's a close-up of a man's teeth. Is he a rapper or is he a pirate? Trick question. It's a school shooter named Greg Jackson.
Yeah, but he's not shooting with a gun. It's a dick.
Oh, because shoot can also mean ejaculate.
Yeah. He runs up to a bunch of children and jacks off on them.
Yeah.
That's what the trench coat is for.
Sorry, I've got...
Okay, let's take this. Like, a guy sat down and right, okay, this is going to be my worst, like, you know, like my dark and edgy self. How do I get that across? Well, I want him to wear a trench coat, have half his face painted like a skeleton, and have a silver tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing makes you sound cooler than having one of your teeth made out of a precious metal. It just immediately makes you badass.
You see my molars, my premolars, they're, you know, zinc.
When I had my front tooth knocked out, the dentist did tell me I could get a gold one, which I contemplated for all of about a microsecond. To which I responded, "No, I'm not a pirate."
My uncle's got a gold tooth. He's not a pirate.
Yeah, but
Well, he was a rapper then.
I don't know. He's from Aldridge in the West Midlands.
He's either a rapper or a pirate.
No, I think the dentist's trying to fleece Jacob. Like, oh, you could get we got a gold one, just so you know, just a couple hundred extra.
Did he smile at you with a fucking jaw full of just gold teeth?
No, but there was a parrot on his shoulder, which I thought was peculiar for a dentist's office.
He'd like have a diamond tipped tooth, and then someone yelled, "You can stole it."
Did he do any dental procedures with a fucking hook on his hat?
I asked if I could be sedated for the dental work, and he just screamed at the nurse and said, "Bring in some grog for me, boy."
Were you sure? We still weren't sure if he was a rapper or a pirate.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yo, Dad, bring in some grog.
Yeah, I don't know. He was one of the two. But anyway, he had a hard time seeing me because he had an eye patch. Yeah, but you get the joke. Oh, this is so fucking depressing. Right. Okay. Where even are we? Oh yeah, should I care why I've become a bigger outcast than I was before? Do any of their opinions or even their lives matter? Shut up, cunt. Because of our school's dress code, I was called into Principal Lehman's office in the middle of my first period class. I was pretty sure... Okay, I'm just coughing, apparently. I don't know how that... I was pretty sure... I'm choking on like... Something in my body, perhaps even my soul, is trying to strangle me. It was my fat, pathetic excuse for a teacher, Mr. Hanson. It never ends. Who complained? I saw him mumbling over the phone just after I walked in. It must have been to the principal. Principal Lehman was sitting firmly, upright, in his retro chair, staring at me as I walked into his office. He asked me to close the door. So I did. I went to stand in front of his desk, and he asked... Toby, do you want to be the principal?
Like a purple sign?
With a slightly bound facial expression. I replied, "A psychopath is someone who suffers from a mental disorder. I believe I'm rather sane. However, they tend to express violent behavior, so I could be." Principal Lehman didn't look happy with my answer. His lack of amusement didn't surprise me. Did we miss a super chat? I thought I heard the thing ding while I was talking.
We've had quite a few which have been.
Okay, well, we're at the end of a page now, if you want to.
Okay. Let's just going back up to make sure. Yeah, that was the last one from there. Right. So thank you, Uncle Palpy, for the £2. Gregory Daniels and the Order of the Restraining. Mario Master 456. Thanks very much for the $1.99. And there goes the weekly monetization. And Uncle Palpy, thanks for the £2. Pyra Onision be like, yo ho, fiddle them kids. And Corbin Carson, thanks so much for the $4.99. Have you ever tried to read Happy Appy, the evil Apple creepypasta? Mr. Creepypasta read it a while back.
It's like
Again,
that was the first time we ever read anything, and it was in multi-parts because it took so fucking long.
It as well. I mean, with this,
I think we got to
you have
part 3.
material.
It was like part 3 or 4, and each one was like an hour, and we weren't even halfway through.
No,
So it was like, I've got like the first 2 or 3 somewhere on the drive, so.
And Linda, let me see the kids, please. Thank you for the $6.99 Canadian dollars. I appreciate that. Now, Lehman then said something that blew my mind.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
Toby, fully engaging with the story.
Yeah. I was waiting for that. Your parents are religious. Your father, in particular, constantly judges every little thing you do. Your mum and him are extremely condescending. You have little respect for what you have to say. You're expected to be their carbon copy. And when you say something they disagree with, they ignore you or pretend you're evil for having shared your views.
He stared at me, waiting for my response. No, I replied. Automatically assuming I was lying, he said,
It's like you 1,000 times, you're all the same.
I replied again. No, my mom is dead. She was the only good thing about my home life. Principal Lehman paused awkwardly, looking to the side. I expected him to apologise or show some kind of remorse for not being sensitive about my mum being dead. He cut my train of thought in half.
So why is your face painted like a dick? Like Halloween, sorry.
Did he really just ignore the fact I lost my mum after all he said to me? I mean, you're a cunt. Like, you know, like, what does he care?
Yeah. Like you're like, so like, you've got like, and that's my mum, and just like, okay, that like just look, you look at him, that explains so much about you right now.
Arthur Lindfeld?
He asked, sorry. My name is Arthur Gale, I replied. I too am not engaged in the story. He smiled and said,
Arthur Lindfeld is the name on this paperwork in front of me. Arthur Lindfeld is your legal name. These papers also happen to be expulsion documents.
have to be. I've got a. Now, excuse me, Greg, but I've got a weird bone marrow disease that makes me pause awkwardly. Now, let me tell you a story of how last night I beat my wife at Trivial Pursuits.
I thought like Toby's turning into Robotnik.
An expulsion.
Is fill out an explanation for your expulsion and sign.
Now excuse me while I make some more badniks.
His words left no room for my normal attitude to flourish. He had my complete attention.
Oh my god! So, like, you can definitely say that. So, Shadow the Hedgehog here is in the principal's room with Robotnik.
Why do you have expulsion papers with my name on? I asked. He replied,
Because you look like a psychopath. You act like a psychopath. And if I expel you the moment do something I don't like again, I'm fairly sure I'll be saving the students at this school a lot of...
What's the next line?
that is such an irritating bone marrow disorder that he has.
The next line.
We both knew what he was implying. That I'm a nonce. I looked like the kids that shot up schools. Especially the ones at Columbine. Yes, perhaps you ought to write your character differently. I would never kill people just because I didn't like them. I just fantasize about it a lot. I imagine it every other day, but that doesn't mean I want it to happen. It does, though.
Yeah.
Like, you want it to happen on some level. You don't want it to happen enough to act on it, but you want it to happen enough to fantasize. You don't really fantasize about things you don't want. I hated feeling like I was comparable to someone who would play God with people who were no threat to anyone.
You broke a guy's arm.
It's one thing to defend those you love. It's another to hurt someone for absolutely no reason aside from your desire alone. I felt a heavy sickness in my stomach and sat down in one of the 2 chairs facing Principal Lehman's piece of crap desk.
I think you get the point. You can leave.
Is Mr. Lehman Scorpion?
Principal Lehman said literally after I just sat down. I stood back up silently and left the room. Principal Lehman screamed after me.
And wipe off that makeup, kid.
I felt tears start to form in my eyes because I'm a ginormous pussy. I know, it's pathetic, but I wasn't in control. I'm used to being the strongest one in every room because I only hang around in the kindergarten class. Principal Lehman was bigger, louder, and had more power at his fingertips than I ever had in my entire body. My entire vegetarian body. As I walked into the bathroom, I looked in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot, and I knew I was about to lose it. But I couldn't. I didn't want to allow my anger and sadness to conquer me. It would cause me to rip apart the bathroom, and I knew I would get expelled.
I really needed to go to the toilet.
Like he's gonna throw all the fucking toilet roll dispensers about, spread soap, liquid soap everywhere, run the taps, just go crazy with his fucking might. Like, this whole thing about the trying to play and now he's being victimized. Poor old little fuck. What was his name again? Arthur Gale. He never hurt no one. Never punched a guy in the throat for little to no reason.
I'm just another moron. Well, I mean, not just a moron. You're also crazy and a child abuser. I'm just another victim of self-obsession. I wanted to be around my girlfriend, to protect her at school, even though I was 45 and with a job. I wanted to graduate high school. I didn't want to be some dropout loser with no future. Don't knock it, it's a living.
YouTuber dressed as a banana.
Such a perfect juxtaposition. I don't want to be some dropout loser with no future and just a hard cut in full banana costume.
If we edited these for like we do with our normal episodes, and it was just a live stream, it would be like a 5-minute just clip showing him dressed as a banana.
Oh my god.
Just as a banana.
All these thoughts burned through my mind as I began to wipe the skeleton on my face off.
The skeleton paint. He hasn't actually mashed bits of bone into his actual face, has he?
It was so fucking unthreatening. That's fucking hysterical.
Just killed one of his bullies, and he's just walking around like the fucking Lord of Bones.
Okay, so if he's wiping the skeleton off of his face, has he got an actual just a picture of a skeleton on his face, or is he meaning the word skull?
No, it's a full skeleton. Ironically, without a head.
That's always the thing I was always most scared of when I went to a high school, in America, was running into trenchcoat Skeletor.
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah.
What?
Princess Adora.
What?
I love that clip because it's it just makes Skeletor seem like he's deaf. What? My emotions finally managed to push tears down my cheeks. Pussy. The water-soaked brown paper towel was so useless and tacky for makeup removal. It's the little things in life. Does he think this sounds dramatic? The water-soaked brown paper towel was so useless and tacky for makeup removal. It's the little things in life, ellipses, that can make you snap.
Not even full stop.
Non-fascinating. It's hilarious.
A few tears fell. Chris from my first period class walked in. He immediately
Chris.
noticed me wiping my face. He smirked and scoffed. That didn't last long. I ignored him as I wiped the water and tears off my face. I didn't have the energy to imagine lopping his head off with a machete. You're not doing yourself I'm not any favours in the I'm not a psychopath argument?
Yeah, every time I meet someone, Jacob, I just imagine them just guillotine, just knocking their heads, bang, guillotine. Every single person I've ever met in my life. Now, you call me a psychopath. I call me a revolutionary. Take me back to France. Oh, back in the day, I would have been fucking beheading left, right, and centre, and that would have been me. I would have been your guy. I had fucking kings and queens going up to me. What do you mean I'm going to jail?
That was Toby's History Minute.
Fucking ridiculous.
I've lost my
right?
place.
I mean, no one fucking thinks like that. Apart from psychopaths, of course. Sorry,
Yes.
and Greg.
I ignored him and finished wiping my face.
I ignored him as I wiped the water and tears off my face.
Let's see.
So I say face now. Let me try and speak again. Salivating like a motherfucker. I ate too many sours.
Stop eating fucking food, you fat bastard.
I almost completely done wiping the paint off by the time he came back out the bathroom. That's much better. I can speak now. He spoke to me again, saying, I don't actually have a funny voice for Chris. I'll just do my weird Christian thing. Dude, not everyone is your enemy. I ignored him and finished wiping my face. Whatever, man. Oh, no, it's still him. It's just this guy doesn't know how to write. Whatever, man. I'm on your side, he said, obviously trying to befriend me. I replied under my breath. No. Fuck, these voices are too similar now. No, it's like, no, you're not. But that's not the voice I want to do. It's like, no, you're not. And walked out. As I returned to my first period class, I could hear the other students trying to hold back their laughter. Their inconsistent breathing made it more than obvious what they were thinking. Their eyes behaved like a whack-a-mole, darting in and out to get a glance at the freak.
That's weird.
Somebody else like to take over for a moment, because I seem to have lost the ability to speak.
I will.
Do you want to swap seats?
Sure, I'll move.
I'm just going to sit here and quietly sing sea shanties to myself while you do my job.
Okay. There were only a couple of people who didn't seem amused by the fact that my face was half red from having just removed the paint. It was some foreign kid who barely spoke English.
Puerto Rican guy.
Is that who he's going to blame all his crimes on?
It wasn't me. It was... I'm trying to think of something. Drake was the punchline anyway.
Drake's always the punchline.
I'll say, if the setup is child molestation, the punchline is Drake.
It's like a card against humanity. Something.
Drake is like, saving that one.
She's like, yeah, you just get the card. Drake, oh, I've got so many choices to use.
Fucking beat Daddy Mandela. Thanks for the $2. The woman's reading now. All right, good night, everyone.
It was some foreign kid who barely spoke English and someone who was clearly as out of place there as I was, only he didn't show it with his wardrobe. Okay, in fact I barely saw him speak to anyone else since the day I got to that class. The only peace I could find in that class existed between the foreign guy who can't speak and the other kid who just chose not to speak. Coincidentally, those two were also basically the only people I hadn't yet imagined killing at some point.
It's just... Stop. Just... Have you ever thought, if you didn't think that you wanted to murder everyone that you met, you wouldn't think everyone was a piece of shit? Because, dude, that's not right. Like, how would you feel if someone wanted to murder You.
It's like,
Maybe
stop
you're
it.
the problem.
Get some help.
Literally, just stop it. Get some help. I honestly do feel like Michael Jordan at this point.
Yeah. There's no satisfaction.
What was that time you got sucked into the Looney Tunes world?
So the one time Toby has felt like Michael Jordan, apparently.
Well, you are pretty shit at baseball and golf, so.
Golf. Oh wait, he does play golf, don't he? Does he?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he tried playing golf professionally at some point. I know he tried baseball, but.
So I'm playing a number of sports, only one of which he's any good at.
There's just no satisfaction in watching innocent people suffer.
Stop it.
I'm so glad you had to say that. Because I wouldn't have known. But Jacob, Toby, did you learn something new today?
I learned that you can go down to McDonald's and you get a 6-piece McNugget meal for $49. Just come on down. Bring the family. Bring everyone. just have a McNugget. Oh.
What the fuck have I done to my ankle?
What have you done?
I don't know, it just hurts so much.
Oh dear.
You stabbed yourself on the ankle with a pen to escape this.
And this, yeah, I might have like broken it in a fugue state that the story put me in.
Just be careful.
Right, I'm putting my foot up. I elevate that shit.
For the sake of keeping myself from losing it on the entire class and making a bigger joke of myself than I already was.
I started to listen to Eminem. The song "Lose Yourself" really spoke to me. Yeah.
He's nervous.
One of those days.
I just focused on my bedroom and my plan to lock myself in it for the rest of the day once I got home. Or just lock yourself in it for the rest of the time without any pens. So you can't write. Anyway, Chris was eyeballing... Yeah, I had to make sure people knew what I was on about. Chris was eyeballing me as he was walking back to class, but that was short-lived as the bell went off before he could even get to his desk. At lunch...
So he just sort of walked in like a fucking sim, walked into the room, just like, dee, and then just walked straight back out again. What was the point in entering the room? Why did he even go in the room then?
I don't know.
Who does that? Who just goes, oh, yeah, sorry, wrong passed? He was eyeballing the whole time, or just walked in? No. Anyway, move on.
At lunch later that day, I was sitting with Ashley and all her friends. I didn't have any friends of my own. Typical. So my only real purpose was to serve as Ashley's butt pad for her chair. Excuse me?
I don't want to read any more about your weird sex kinks.
That's bad.
Butt pad. What? As she sat in my lap. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. As she sat in my lap, I found myself listening to what I always dreaded hearing. It was the offensively ignorant and clearly unexamined opinions of her brain-dead, preppy friends. From their views on the president to what other students were wearing that day, I experienced an intense urge to walk around that table and stick a knife in the back of each of their thoughtless little heads.
Sorry, 1 second. When I meet someone new, I sometimes say, I say, I look at their haircut and I go, that is a haircut you could set your watch to, right? What the fuck what is this? No!
Toby, please explain yourself.
No, I get what he means though. Like, typically, you just be like, hi, I'm Bob. So nice to meet you, Bob. Heck of a handshake you got there, Bob, and you'd start a conversation. You don't just be like, I'd really like to stab you in the brain.
Yeah, fair.
Jacob, I've already envisioned about 6 minutes.
Look, I only ever think that if they go, hi, I'm a Slytherin. Like...
Oh, that is a hard pass from me, I'm afraid. That's a speed dating over.
Yep.
Why don't you slither into the unemployment line?
It's like, I'm begging you, please read another book.
Slither out with a gene pool.
Hi, I'm Claire. Oh, hi, I'm Jacob. Okay, what's your favourite music there, Claire? Oh, I like, who's the fucking guy? Oh yeah, I like Little Peep. Jacob be like, fucking red-faced, like, Little Peep of this, Little Peep of that, how about a Little Peep of this employment application?
I don't remember the context, sorry, but I remember like once just coming right behind you at your house and being like, "How about a little peeper?" and then really loud in your ear, like, "Mr. Beano's Family Restaurant."
Why? It's fucking hilarious though.
I do not remember the context was, or if there was any.
No doubt introducing a metal blade to the back of their brain would increase their IQ at least a few points. It would be different.
Remember, once again, he said he wasn't like like he keeps undermining himself. I mean, for many reasons, but I'm not a psychopath, and feel sorry for me. I might get expelled because I'm totally not a psychopath. I want to stick a metal blade into the back of these bitches' skulls.
Yeah, it's kind of like the "I'm not a racist," but with "I'm not a psychopath," but
Yeah, it's just the way one sentence will say that, and it's like, "I'm not a paedophile." And when I was done jacking it to cuties for the 5th time, when I purchased stock in Netflix,
tame.
it would be difficult for them to decline beyond the intellectual rock bottom state they were already in. Ashley was the American poster girl and fit right in with the others. Now me still drowning in black clothing created quite the eyesore at the lunch table. There was no explanation as to why Ashley was even hanging around this people, aside from the likely possibility that she had a lot in common with them. You know, before you self-publish your own novel, maybe proofread it.
But proofreading's hard, and clearly, well, I said last week that I just get the feeling that this is sort of like he's just like sort of like his own imaginary reimagining of his high school experience. This just keeps affirming it's like there was probably some girl in high school he had a crush on, and this is just how he wishes his high school experience went.
Probably.
This tells me what just that single Ashley was even hanging around this people. What that tells me is Greg was so busy doing whatever he does in his life, obviously not proofreading his work, because it's clear he's not actually gone through this and read after he's. I mean, who as he wants to be a writer? Who does that? No one does that. This shouldn't be there. This is one of his biggest crimes so far in the story.
This is not one of his biggest crimes.
These fucking people, I'm sorry. No, not getting away with that one. Dick. Quite simply, dick. There you go. Moving on.
Dick.
Is Jacob still stuffing his face with the sweets?
No. No, but he's relaxing now.
Don't let him relax. He's not supposed to be relaxed. Like, if we have to not relax,
I'm
reading
still
this,
here, you fat cunt.
Stab him in the ankle again. We all know you secretly did it, Gemma.
Yeah, what happened was that even after...
Don't do misery.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
No, I did it out... I was like, I did it out of, like, to make him have sympathy.
You're going to do joking, yeah, because you're going to do misery.
No.
Just stumbling through. If I fill the air with noise for long enough, my brain will find a new joke. And I can pretend I wasn't going to do misery.
I wasn't going to do misery.
She was going to do misery.
You were totally going to do misery, Gemma. We all know it. Chat, back us up. She was doing misery, wasn't she? I was just going to tie you to the bed, and I brought this hammer in, and we were gonna have some kinky construction roleplay. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got your PPE? I ain't letting you in if you got your fucking boots, alright? It's very serious in this fucking bedroom. I'll tell you.
I was just gonna tie you to a bed and knock this wall down for more space.
Logan's terrified.
There was no explanation as to why Ashley was even hanging around this people, aside from the likely possibility that she had a lot in common with them. With that, it was becoming more than evident to me that Ashley was only with me because she was attracted to my type. Poor Ashley.
Yeah.
Aside from her calling me handsome from time to time and laughing.
At you.
And laughing at the observations I made, we seemed to have very little we could relate on. I spoke in a low tone to Ashley, asking if we could ditch the group we were in. She ignored me, so I said again, Jacob,
What's the line?
let's leave.
Let's leave.
Ashley, still sitting on my lap, acted like I said nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Finally, I spoke in a normal tone.
Ashley, can we ditch your loser, idiot friends? No, don't talk about them like that, you prick.
What a cunt. They all stopped.
What an insufferable cunt. Seriously. It's fucking a child.
Can we...
Oh.
You say he's
Also,
fucking a
it's
child, I
really-
imagine he's fucking several.
He sounds so whiny.
They all stopped blabbing about their nonsense views of the world and stared at me.
Well, he kept talking about his nonce views of the world.
I get it.
I'm just saying, if there's grass on the field.
I'm just saying, if she's born, she's ready for porn.
God, that's disgusting. Oh my
You know
god.
what they say? It's never too early to start learning.
About this dick.
Learning fucking what? Dare I ask? Actually, don't answer that question.
Welcome, children, to your Sugandese lesson. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, what is Sugandese? Whichever, she's just like collapsed.
Help.
Sorry, Mr. Jackson. Ooh,
And
oh, ew.
You silly children, you've walked right into my trap. You've fallen for one of the classic blunders. Sugandese nuts!
Got him.
and while he's teaching his class, he's still in a trench coat, but he's also added a banana costume.
It's like bananas in pajamas, but it's bananas in trench coats. Bananas
Down the
in
stairs.
fedoras are coming down the stairs.
Vacays.
Bananas in fedoras are chasing underage girls. You know, that's my new show. It's on Netflix has just bought it. They said it's empowering.
Wait till you see Jacob's remake of the Ghosts of Bottle Bay. You can't say those words anymore on the internet.
It was
Oh, I love the Ghosts of Bottle Bay so much.
it was obvious Ashley prioritized being accepted by her friends over me. Even to this point, she ignored me.
I've got a brain. Yeah.
I couldn't believe she was still acting like I said nothing. But I wasn't going to stick around. I wasn't going to get treated by a woman. I was fed up, so I
God, I hate women so much.
I was fed up, so I slid her butt into the chair next beside me and stormed off. Ashley called after me as I left the cafeteria, and in response, I lifted my middle finger while continuing to walk away. Hard.
Okay, so everyone who's here, does he sound like he's some sort of cool, suave alpha male, or does he sound like a petulant fucking child? You be the judge.
You could read this in the most whiniest voice possible, and it would still make sense. Couldn't believe it. She was acting like I said nothing. And then it'd just be like, but I know, I'm gonna make her pay.
I'm gonna slide her off and then flip her off. Yeah, that'll show her.
The rest of lunch I spent sitting in front of the door next to my class. Alone. After about an hour of getting home, I got a call from Ashley. She wanted to know what she could do to make things better between us. She insisted she didn't mean to ignore me, but how could she not mean to do that? Her actions, or the lack thereof, seemed so blatantly intentional. Ah yes, so you know exactly what everyone's thinking around you.
Alright, I can take over if you want for a bit.
Yes!
Gemma just let me know as well. I'll hop back and we can
Yes.
swap in a bit.
Cool.
You sounded a bit like Captain Falcon there, Gemma.
Yes!
Show me your ID. 18? Not interested.
18, not interested.
Show me your birth certificate.
Oh my
Show me
god.
your boobs. Anyway, despite the implausibility of her position, are you a fucking judge? I decided to give her a chance to fix things. A chance I thought held no promise.
Wait, Toby, it took me a moment. Did Toby say, what are you, a judge?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think the guy that
Are you
sued
Judge
the wrong
Angel?
Chris Hansen would do a very good job in the legal system.
You've got to say, dress up like you're goth tomorrow.
Dress up like you're
Also-
goth tomorrow.
Also, why does she need to make it up to you? Because you're the one who, like, decided to fucking have a tantrum in the middle of a food court?
This is the logic of Greg.
I said into the phone. Ashley was silent for a moment, and then asked.
What do I wear?
I replied.
Cobe?
It's just-
Wear all black clothes and dark makeup.
She replied.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely correct, Jacob. Wait, this is one chapter.
Said Ness as he walked in to see this horrid discourse.
For the purposes of the tape, Jacob's just fucking police recording now. Jacob's just said in the chat, this honestly is unbearable at this point.
Jacob, two things. First of all, can you get a bit close to the mic because you're a bit from what I can hear. But second of all, when you eventually get around to making the movie version of this, can we get Tenacious D to play his girlfriend? Both of them.
Yes, but like tapes together. Like just gaffer tape. Kyle Gass and Jack Black to each other. And like one enormous blonde wig over both of them.
I didn't believe for a second she was going to do it. I was fixed on this idea that she was only into me for one reason, and that was my Easter egg hunting skills. And that's an alpha male pulling her away from her pack of cackling turkeys would only make her feel
Turkeys don't cackle. What are you, fucking stupid?
Yes.
Such an act would contradict her initial interest in me in the first place. Ashley's goal being security, she would sew up dressed in her normal attire, and I give up on the lone wolf and I naturally found myself to be. Well, as the next day of her school began, Ashley stood where she knew I'd see her as I walked in. Her hands were interlocked in front of her thighs. Her butt was slightly perked out.
Blech.
I noticed this because she was wearing black tights. As her eyes came clearly into my view, I could see her purple eyeshadow, plum-colored lipstick, purple glitter on the black jean jacket she was wearing.
So Onision wrote My Immortal.
Ah. Yes.
My vampire girlfriend. She will be eternally 8 years old.
And me as an alpha male, what I decided to do is completely change the woman that I like, because that's what an alpha male does. I was overwhelmed by her gesture of loyalty.
You mean subservience, you little shit.
Yes.
I never wanted to physically dominate someone more than I had in that moment.
Stop.
I'm really
Stop.
enjoying
Stop.
reading this.
Stop.
We're on page, but just for a minute, we need to.
We've got half a page left.
We are on page 30 out of 130 fucking 6. Okay, this is fucking.
For fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Right, Gemma, I'm going to fall asleep in this couch. You want to swap seats?
Yes. I'll read the rest of Ashley's dialogue, I guess, from the chair.
I quickly walked up to Ashley and heavily kissed her as the other students passed us by. That's the end of the page. I guess I'll read until the end of the chapter, actually. As our lips pulled apart for a moment, I said,
Cope, say thank you.
Thank you.
Stop blowing out the mic, you two assholes.
Never.
She smiled and replied,
Guess I'm yours after all.
God. I laughed under my breath and we continued kissing till the bell for the first period rang. We hung out wherever we could for the rest of the day and spent most of the lunch just talking and kissing alone. Some people...
The way you said that, I was like, just talking and kissing alone.
Literally.
Creepy pervert laugh, Jacob.
Some people can still surprise me. It's all part of why I haven't found my place at the end of a road just yet.
Do it!
Give it time.
Do it. I feel like all of us then, except for Gemma, did fucking Emperor Palpatine at once. Like a chorus. Just like harmonizing with each other.
See, Alpha, fucking Emperor Palpatine. Was it quartet? Was it a barbershop quartet?
Obama shop.
Obama Shop Quartet!
When I said earlier page 30, I meant page 30, not 13.
Goodbye, my Coney Island baby. So,
Is that where we're going to leave it?
yeah, I think we'll leave it there because it's the middle of the night. I don't want to read another chapter of this garbage.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll chit chat for a moment and how are we feeling about the book? How are we feeling about the book so far? So for me, and I said this at the last stream, but my opinion hasn't changed. I think this is worse than the last one. So far.
I agree.
I mean, they might pull it out of the bag, you know.
I'm with you, Jacob. This is totally Human Centipede did this thing where like you look at the first one, it's like, oh my god, this is fucking trash, and then you get to the second one, like, oh my god, the first one was so good in comparison.
It's honestly shocking.
We spent over a year reading that shitty book, and within this is the third one we're on. I'm looking back at that one fondly, like, oh man, I miss fucking Davis.
This is only the second one. We still have one more after this, and then he's writing a new one.
Oh, great. Well, is this one going to have Chris Hansen in it?
I don't know.
I love that Mr. Hansen has appeared in both novels.
Great.
Let's hope he appears in book 3.
What is this, a barbershop quartet? Is that someone Gemma said?
Of course it was. There's like something was hilariously mispronounced. Of course it was something Gemma said.
No, it's because I heard Matt say something, and I thought he said Obama Shop Quartet.
Right, surely in your brain you heard Obama Shop Quartet and thought, is that a thing? No. What does it sound like? I suppose it sort of sounds like barbershop quartet. Yes, that is a thing. Perhaps that's what he said. Perhaps it's not four guys, former President Barack Obamas, wearing pinstripe waistcoats and hats. One of them is the bass, just going, ba-bum bum, bum, ba-bum bum bum.
See, Jacob, it's only one of them is actually Obama. The other one is the Prime Minister of Canada, and he's just blacked up for the occasion.
Oh, fuck! What's his name? Justin Trudeau.
Just they're doing a black.
There's so many pictures of him blacked up.
Justin Trudeau.
It's not even like he did it once. It was like 5 different occasions.
Okay, Jacob, shut up, because we need to fill out the members of this barbershop course. Obama, Justin Trudeau, Zombie Tupac, and we need a 4th black guy.
What does Obama Shop Quartet sound like? It's hard to explain, but it's very droning. It's just fucking vicious.
Goodbye, my baby. Goodbye, my civilian hospital.
Thank you, the neighbour's kid, for the $2. Fan art of Obama Shop Quartet, please. Yes, can somebody with far more artistic talent than myself, please draw Obama Shop Quartet.
This is why I shouldn't be allowed to speak.
Thank you very much, Valenkin, for the £5. If Onision kills himself, I expect a celebration stream. I mean, it's gonna happen, folks.
I don't think we'll be allowed to say it without getting
Onision
demonetized,
2021.
We'll make up an occasion. It just so happens to coincide.
Shimmer, was that you or you reading the chat?
No, that was me.
Onision 22. Fucking based. So if Onision, right, petition, if Onision does take his own life, we all start calling him Onision.
Even if he shoots himself.
Yeah. Or even if he tries to kill himself but survives, everyone starts calling him Onision, like, to his face.
I had to come back strong after Obama short content.
Don't mention it, it's going to set me off again. That's fucking hysterical.
Does Obama Shop Quartet count as an N-word pass? No, because there's only 4 people in the quartet. You still need one more.
One of them's, yeah, and that's not even proper, because one of them's still Justin Trudeau, so...
There was this. I watched this video the other day. It was a video about pirates. It was a video about pirate facts you might not be aware of. It was things everybody knew, right? Really famous stuff, like Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates and he had them crucified. Like everyone knows, right?
Yeah.
But it had millions of views. But the guy doing the video kept saying "whammon" instead of "women." He had a perfectly normal way of speech, except he'd occasionally go, "Some pirates were whammon," like fully like WAH.
Like, he wasn't taking the fit, because I heard someone say whammon.
Yeah, but it wasn't a comedy video, and it didn't come across. There wasn't any satire or anything. He would just say he just couldn't say women. And then at one point he was talking about grog, and they mixed it with water. Some would add lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
I was like, he's got a very specific speech impediment. It's like the bone marrow guy from the story we were just reading. The 5th Obama, when the world needed him most, he disappeared. I got hairy legs that allow me to bomb civilians in the sun.
Should we call it a night there?
Yeah, let's go to bed and all rest easy that the new president of the United States has senile dementia. So, good night, everyone.
Wait a second. Thank you very much then for TKL for the $10 US. Hi, I love your videos and I hope you are well. I just wanted to ask, if you were forced to pick a pasta out of the cesspool of stuff you've read, what it would be. Picked it for what exactly? What's the specific?
I guess they mean like if you were forced to read one again.
Oh, okay.
Psychosis.
Probably one of the very early ones because they were short.
Yes,
Well, I think like
Teke because it was like 3 minutes long.
I don't know. Thomas was fun.
Yeah, Thomas was kind of precious.
I'd love to redo Thomas again because I wasn't in that.
I think we could at some point like redo some Golden Age ones. I think that'd be fun. Do you know what I mean? Because I've kind of forgotten a lot of the early ones. Like I know we did a Chow's demise. I don't remember anything that happens except Knuckles snapping a Chow's neck.
I just remember who would name a Chow queer.
Oh yeah.
It'll be Kirby's Deadland again, and we can invite Rob back.
He could be in the room right now, and we wouldn't know.
Rob's always here.
No, Jimmy, that's actually a box of locusts that you bought for the reptiles. That's not Rob. Good night, everyone. Let's all take a moment to eat a chips. Thank you.
What Americans call chips.
Eat a big bag of chips.